Peace, peace. What is good, y'all? Ephraim here, man. Today I want to talk to you about why consistent actions will bring clarity. This is very, very purposeful, very important. All the steps that I have been taking, y'all seen me on my journey with this channel is more than half a year. It's probably like it's 8 months actually. Wait, maybe 8, 9 months since I started, man. And what I'm really seeing is that there's a lot of changes that are taking place, and especially now, I really feel like I have a clear vision of what my next steps are, what I'm meant to be doing, not only just in this channel and like what I'm growing with y'all, but my life in general. And everything that I've done up until this point has really gotten me here. When I'm thinking about what it was like being back home, the struggles that I had to really overcome in a large sense, things that I had to go through and I had to learn in my past. I'm really realizing by me showing up continuously, being in a new environment, being in Chicago, and just taking these steps to branch out of my comfort zone is bringing me a lot of clarity on what success looks like for me. So all that being said, I do want to update you guys. I'm planning to bring some new segments to this channel as well. So one thing, GratiTuesday, if you know me on Instagram, I used to do these lives, and I call them like GratiTuesday, like happy GratiTuesday. And I would do these lives where I'm just talking about everything that I'm grateful for and really being present in the moment about what's going on in my life. Now, what I want to do on YouTube is bring these probably in a smaller, like more condensed format, and just being direct with you guys. But there's so many things to be grateful for, and gratitude being one of my key values and something that I value for this channel. I realize it's a power that completely changes just reality. Because I would say like my life, but the reality that I learned when I was in the process of reprogramming my subconscious mind, I changed a lot of things in order for me to get here, and it's only been like 1 year. It's so crazy. It hasn't even been a full year since I was like in Buffalo back home, then going to Atlanta again, living in Atlanta, meeting a bunch of people, but then figuring out my way, okay, how am I gonna make it to Chicago? I don't know anything about anything on what's going there. I hadn't been to Chicago in like 12 years, mind you. But I'm like, I know I'm gonna have an apartment. I know I'm gonna be by the water, by the lakeside, and all these things. And so I realized when I was learning, especially that esoteric wisdom and, the metaphysical, or even just the neuroscience and the reality of life, of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, is that there's a level of positive thinking that needs to occur to really shift reality. But also within that positive thinking is really gratitude, specifically because it's recognizing the true abundance that we have. And even there's a YouTuber that I really like. I believe his name is David something. But he talked about, and he's not the first person I heard mention this, he talked about how the real way to prayer, uh, and to pray. And I believe I actually read it in this book by probably Dr. Joseph Murphy, talking about prayer, is that prayer is not begging and pleading. Like if I know I want to do something, I want to grow this, I'm not the type of person, for one, to beg and plead from people. Like it's just not really my character. It's not my thing. But what I will say is that I learned that even the book Magic, if you guys know from the Secret series, it talks about how gratitude is the magic that transforms our lives. And so like when we're able to extend that energy to other people, they feel it. And it's funny, it's like, alchemy, transmutation. It can take a very negative situation where, say like you're at odds with somebody, and y'all consistently have this negative relationship. It could be family, it could be a spouse, like, somebody in your relationship with, whatever, a boss, say if it's consistently negative, it's only showing up that way because you're not actually appreciating the person for who they are and also the value and the energy that they bring into your life. And so the reality is, like, when I started to think about all the things, like, I had a job that I was extremely grateful for, all the way through, even with the difficulties, because it helped me get my life in order and, like, having a foundation monetarily. Also, like, getting a new car, because I had a '08 Buick. I was just telling somebody, like, I had gas leaks and all these things that was happening in my life that I say that almost kind of blanked out there, but I'm just like, no, because the car, like, I had to buy a new transmission. I had put like thousands of dollars into a car, and I was looking at it like, oh, I'm being grateful for this car, but it was just like, it was also time for me to move on. And I feel like even being frugal or being more responsible with our money is also having gratitude for money, for, the flow of money and finances. And a lot of us, we don't always understand how our relationship currently is with money. And even when people say they have those money or financial wounds, it's because they're probably not taking time to, for one, gain clarity on what money is in their life. Like, what does money bring them? Why do we need money? Why do I want money? Why do I wish to attract money? And if that's truly the case, right, am I going to be grateful for all the abundance, or, all the, even the issues and the bills that I have? Am I going to be, like, upset about those things and look at it as negative? Or am I going to see it with a more clear perspective on, like, wow, I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to even live in a building that has running water that's clean, and I get to pay for, see the difference, right? We know I have to do something, like, I'm obligated, when we know within our power, we don't have to do anything in this life, but I get to pay for running water. I get to live in a building with air conditioning, and I get to pay for that. I have some of the fastest internet in the world, right? I get to pay for that because it brings me exactly what I want. And by me getting to pay for that, wow, I can run my business. I can connect with people all over the world, and there's so many different things. And so, look, this is just an introduction on, again, not only myself and I will say, yeah, first and foremost, myself and how I live my life and really how I think and how I've come to view the world. But also, again, with this channel, I'm like, I realize how important that has been in my life, being grateful. And I still practice gratitude. I write in my journal. That's been something that's very major for me. People talk about scripting and all that, like visualizing the life that you're walking into abundance. You're already programming your mind, because you're not guessing, you're asking. You're saying, oh, when I have the $100,000, when I have the ability to go overseas and take all the trips, when I have a successful business, or because I have a successful business, because I have a successful music career, you're reaffirming within self that this is already mine. And now we're thanking God in advance, right? We're not begging, like, oh, please give me, because that's coming from a place of lack. But when we're really embodying abundance, we're saying, okay, you know what? This is so beautiful that I'm in this position right now and I have these challenges, because it's preparing me for more. It's expanding my mind. It's expanding my consciousness and just my ability to adapt and deal with a situation, emotionally, spiritually. So for that reason, I'm grateful. And that is one of the things, starting on Tuesdays, right? We will be talking more about that. Y'all can expect a video from me this upcoming Tuesday about gratitude and why, I'm thankful in my life and what's going on. So that'll be a lot more personal It might not even be at super in-depth. You know, we'll see how it goes, but that's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be a great time. And also, something else that I want to do, as much as I mentioned like in-depth, I want to really revisit. I'm learning, like, there's a lot of topics. For one, thank you guys. Like, there's certain videos that have now surpassed 100 views, and that might not sound a lot, but that's really meaningful to me. That, you know, I have 100 different people, because the way YouTube works, it's like very, yeah, it's very direct and very person centered. So it's like the fact that 100 people looked at what I had to say on this subject, and I'm seeing from you guys what you really valued from me was talking about the radical acceptance. That one, that's my best video right now. So thank you guys. But it makes sense, you know, me having gratitude for myself and choosing to radically accept myself. I know that's one of the most purposeful things on my path, on my journey of, like, by me accepting myself and showing that love to me, I realize it allows space, and it always has. It's always allowed space for other people to feel more comfortable in being themselves. And I feel like that's just the natural part of our experience, you know, this collective consciousness and our collective experience. Seeing somebody else do it, and we're all reflections of each other in some way of, like, wow, you know, if they can do that, if they can really accept themselves, maybe I can go deeper into me. And I absolutely believe that you can. There's no reason why not. Any limitation that you have is only a perception that you gave to yourself. And so that is a large part of why I shared it with y'all as well, because it wasn't the easiest. It was a little bit uncomfortable really making that video. Maybe that's what it was too. What I was talking about, like my life, I'm gonna really share my raw perspective, but we're living in a time where that's what people value, you know, this authenticity. And this being my year of authenticity and audacity, I want to be able to show up, and I'm grateful that I can, and that I'm willing to do that for y'all. So thank you guys for tapping into that. And I want to say the second one was rejection for redirection. So it's like right in alignment, like, you know, in tandem with each other of, you know, a lot of times people feel rejected. They might radically accept themselves, but that comes with knowing that other people might not, right? Other people might reject you and push you away. And I've had some, you know, great comments and stuff too. Shout out Kizzy, you know, day one supporter, and shout out everybody who's came through and talked about their experiences of, like, you know, maybe they don't always feel received by other people for certain things going on in their life. And I just know for me, that was my experience for sure. Like literally just last year, there's just a ton of people I love and care about, and still, I feel like I really supported and put a lot of energy into. But then at some point I had to realize my validation, you know, of course my source, my foundation doesn't come from within those people. Right. And so when I really chose to set myself apart, like, you know what, let me take time, let me take space for myself, let me create and be within my own space instead of putting so much energy out and being concerned about what other people have going on. Let me be concerned about prioritizing my life and redirecting that energy to me. Now my life is flourishing so much, and even this channel is just like me documenting my process, and it's flourishing. Like, we're at 23 subscribers right now. Thank y'all. I'm super excited, and I have a goal that I know that I'm gonna reach. So I'm happy to have y'all along with me on this journey. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscribes. I know that if this video really resonates with you, you know, you're gonna share it with somebody. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, because that's all it is. Like, you know, whatever I have that you feel like resonates, it stands out, definitely feel comfortable to, continue to connect and express from you guys, like what you want to see more of, and what you really value. And I want to hear your feedback as well. But that being said, I do see the things that like are really, really thriving. I believe when, I know recently I made the video of sitting still and listening. And this video kind of made me think of that too, because I feel like listening has been a key part of my experience for sure, even musically, melodically. But it's like me just being aware. Like listening has a lot to do with just awareness and seeing all the things going on in life, and yeah, being willing to stop and gain perspective, and also realizing that my perspective is not the ultimate. Like, I just seen a video from another creator and he said, the man who knows everything has nothing left to learn. So, if we feel that way, then that just means we're no longer willing to grow. And that's not a place I want to be in my life. I really want to continue to learn. And by coming across other people, by, gaining new information and perspective, it helps me. So I feel like being open and knowing that even when I have a routine, like we talked about, the elastic flexibility, being willing to just embody change, growth, and expansion, which is like, even though now I currently see everything going on in my life, like, wow, this is all coming together. Like, again, the people, I'm outside, people starting to recognize me in Chicago, people wanting to help me on my journey, right? Me gaining opportunities, somebody supporting, shout out MERS, like supporting GODSPELL, buying the project, $25 is the equity-based price of the Edo Langston project I have. And it's completely worth it because I've put many hours of my time into it. Just thinking about, like, as an artist, who can really value our art but ourselves? Like, who could even put a price on what it means for me to talk about the pain and suffering within grief, right? Talking about my family and those experiences, but also like creating an energy of positivity, wanting to uplift others, right? And sharing my journey and saying like how throughout all of this experience, God has been leading me. And this is what life looks like for me, embodying God and being a reflection of the Most High. So I'm like, there's no price I can put on that. Plus, but like I put, hundreds of dollars, probably at least $1,000 into studio recording. And I mix and mastered it myself. And I put, doing that and performing it, I probably have more than like 250 hours just into creating the idea of the project. So when I go from all of that to like $25, it's like well worth it, for sure. That's another note. That's on the website, ekanamiko.univer.se. I always put it down in the description if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's something that's available. I'll probably, very soon I want to talk to you guys about, in a video, about my process for regulation, like self-regulation. So there's a lot of products I've recently got into that I'm super excited about because I've been on my amino acids. And one thing I'm realizing, like, again, with clarity, I'm just being more open about it, talking to people, and I'm meeting other people who are like neurodivergent. And for me, I'm like, yeah, this ADHD thing is super real because I'm just learning about like having a dopamine deficit and what that means, and why for me, prioritizing my energy levels, being more plant-based. If you guys want to hear more from me about like holistic health and like eating and plants, fruits, and veggies, I'm all for it because I love to cook. Y'all might not even know that about me. Like I love to cook, and I'm predominantly like plant-based. I don't eat meat. It's not my thing, but that chicken do be calling me sometimes, but I always do my best never to answer because it's just reality. Like I'm not vegan. It's not so much political for me, even though I do really respect, animals and life in general. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing when we talk about just the fact that we're able to, you know, consume the life energy of yeah, go down that rabbit hole. But like, nah, for real, like that, we take that energy and we embody it. But that's all the reason why when we're talking about the terms of health, uh, you know, like it's always been said before, you are what you eat. So being mindful of that, I'd rather be like living, like plant, green, and hydrated, like fruits, you know, and veggies are very hydrating versus things that cause inflammation and dehydration in the body, what a lot of meats really do. So like I don't eat red meat at all. Haven't had pork in like more than 7 years, 7, 8 years. Yeah, something crazy, man. Because it's just like what those things introduce in my body is like, nah, that's not for me. But that being said, I've had to now supplement. Okay, there's certain vitamins that I need to make sure I'm incorporating like in my living, you know, in the way that I'm eating, and that's helped me a lot too. Because if not, especially as a person, if you're now neurodivergent, or if you have ADHD and you're not getting all the nutrients and amino acids, which are like the things that make up your proteins, like yeah, and you in the gym, like yeah, your body not gonna respond the best. So these are all the things that I'm learning, and I'm like, I'm just getting so much clarity in many different areas of my life, and I want to share more of that with y'all. So yeah, I'll probably have another day that I'll be adding gradually to, maybe Thursdays, for going more in depth on certain topics and like really bringing you guys like the research. Cause like sometimes I want to do that. I want to be more technical, but I just realized that's not for every video. That's not for everyone. Like even me right now, I'm just talking, I'm flowing about my experiences. So I feel like there's a balance of, you know, some days I should just really be more spirit led, and maybe I can talk about more esoteric things and, you know, more abstract ways. But also, yeah, just following my intuition. And then every week there needs to be like GratiTuesday, just because not only is it gonna make your life better, it's gonna make my life better. Like just putting that out into the universe, right? Letting God know that I'm grateful. Even though I already am, vocalizing it, you'll be surprised on how far it can take your life. So I definitely want to bring that back, and YouTube is the perfect place to do it in my eyes. And then yeah, we'll be going more in depth on certain subjects. So yeah, that's most of what I have for y'all. I've been outside, like I just been finding clarity, like when I go, like I'm on a walk, right? And I just feel my soul just leading me, like I just see something, right? And I'm like listening to my internal self, my internal monologue, right? How my spirit is saying like, oh, you know, what's that? Like maybe you should go check it out. I literally just did that with this one place next door, and it was a rock climbing gym, like right outside my house. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was here. And they're like, yeah, if you go upstairs, you can see all the obstacle joints. And I'm like, oh shoot, like I've always wanted to do rock climbing, like since I was younger, like since I was a kid. Like I just thought it was cool, but I've never really I might have gone one time to like a place that had it, and I tried it out, and I probably yeah did have fun, but I've never took it seriously as like a sport or whatever. So this gym is like right next door, and they're like, yeah, well, we have a flexible plan, like, you know, even for people financially, to make it more accessible. We have this that you can apply for. We also do classes every day of the week. Like we do yoga, we do core work. And I'm like, oh shoot, all this including membership. Downstairs we have treadmills, pull-up bars, and then we have a workspace that you can come, and we have Wi-Fi and everything. And I'm like, wow, so I could literally just walk out of my house and just have another space just to expand into, right? Just to be productive and reinforce my consistency. And I believe the regular price is like 90 something a month. Mind you, I pay more than that because I do Muay Thai and now I'm getting into jujitsu. But I pay more than that for martial arts a month, like, you know, in the hundreds. So I'm like, just the fact that that's there, and even though I already have a gym membership, knowing that if in the event anything ever happens, like not even gonna speak into like, you know, my transportation, but I'm just saying in the event, like say, you know, it's you know, it's snowed in or like the roads are bad or whatever, like, or I just don't have the time to really leave and come back from my home, I can go to another gym and it just really compounds on the positive habit I already have by like investing more into myself, again, that energy back into myself. Because money is just a flow of energy and an exchange to be like, oh, well, I know I already have a $25 LA Fitness gym membership. Look at me going. But doing rock climbing, and it's such a, I have to say, I just feel like it's such a ADHD or type thing or neurodivergent to be like, yeah, let's go climb some rocks. Like, feel like my man's Cam over there, like I like rocks. And yeah, but it gets that other part of your mind going. So like, if y'all don't know, like really what I want to encourage people on this channel, like really tap into neuroscience as well. Cause beyond just the spiritual aspect, it's like these are scientific things that like when you get more creative, because the courses that like created as problem solving, like they literally called it like something like problems or obstacles. And when you get in the habit of overcoming these obstacles every day, it creates more energy for you to be consistent and like exporting that into the rest of your life. So like, oh yeah, if I can go to this gym, if I can do martial arts, if I can do rock climbing and I can overcome this by happenstance or just by a byproduct, the outcome is that the rest of your life becomes that much easier to tackle and to achieve and solve because you're just gaining more insight, more perspective on like, oh, this, you know, everything isn't as hard as I need to make it to be. You feel me? That just reinforces, like we said, the mental flexibility that we have, you know, and just it helps us embody it in our person, you know, just who we are. So yeah, that translates to the rest of life. And I'm seeing so much clarity in all this. So like, yeah, my life is just, what they say, like falling into place. Like it's just, no, it's just rising. It's elevating into place. You know, it's the foundation. So I'm really building it brick by brick. I'm being intentional. And I just want to let you guys know, like, this is what I'm on. And if you have questions for me, please let me know. Put the questions down. I want to be more engaging, more interactive with y'all. I know I'm going to find more ways to do that as well. Like even, yeah, if we have, I don't know, challenges, some ways to engage in this channel or something like that, you know, something I can get to you guys. But I'm going to keep you posted. And I'm gonna let you guys know about the products. I'll probably become an Amazon affiliate too. So yeah, if y'all wanna use the link to support your mans and buy anything as far as supplements, I'm a person who I do my research. If you can't tell, I like to get the highest quality. So I'm only here to steer you in the right direction. That's what I'm gonna say. Because yeah, these joints been changing my life. That tyrosine, that glycine. I'm looking over there at my magnesium tablets, my iron. It's getting me right. You feel me? I got some sea moss on the way, so I'm gonna put y'all on. But yeah, man, I just say that because I'm really excited. I'm continuing to go, and I want to go hard into the rest of the year, especially into this fourth quarter season. So 2026 is super great. I'm already looking forward to 2027. So thank you guys so much again for supporting me. It really means a lot. I'm very excited about my growth and just the growth of this channel. And yeah, I'm excited for your growth as well. Like, please just, I'm not even gonna say please. Thank you. Thank you for engaging and like, thank you for showing up and telling me more about you, because I'm just happy to learn about you guys too. Like that's again, maybe with me being a little neuro, you know, they say spicy. I'm a fire sign, so we'll go. I'm a neuro fireball. I like just being interested and curious about life. So thank you guys for sharing more about your life with me, because it helps me grow. It helps me learn how I can be a better communicator, and ultimately how I could be a better educator as well. And just, yeah, learning how to share what I have to offer. So yeah, that's it, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.